A very warm good morning to all my dear students of Sri Gokulam Public School. This is Nidha ma'am with you, and we are moving into an English online class. In the last week we were discussing the act written by J.B. Priestley, Mother's Day. Today we are concluding the chapter with the final scene of what happens in the house of Mrs. Pearson. Just a quick review on the important points of the play that we had studied. We said that Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Pearson had interchanged their bodies because Mrs. Fitzgerald wanted to help her neighbor and dear friend Mrs. Pearson with the difficulties that she is having in managing the house. It was evening time and Doris, their 20-year-old daughter, had entered with giving instructions to her mother to iron her yellow silk dress. There is a few arguments and discussions going on between Doris and Mrs. Pearson. She refuses to take orders from her daughter, and the similar kind of behavior she expresses when her son Cyril also enters the house. Both of the children are very confused on the behavior of their mother. They find very strange things being done in the house, like their mother is smoking, their mother is drinking, their mother is back answering them, she is refusing to prepare tea or dinner. She makes some certain proclamations that she is going to work only for weekdays, and on the weekends she is planning to take a day off and go out and enjoy. She also says that she puts in equal amount of labor as much as her children and her husband is putting. Only thing is that she is not given wages for it. Such being the situation in the house, then ends George, who is Mrs. Pearson's husband. He also finds it equally alarming and shocking to find that his wife is behaving in a very strange manner. She outrightly tells him that he is a stupid person to spend his evenings at the club, where he is treated with the least regard or in a disrespectful manner. She says that his friends in the club call him as Pompey Ompy because he behaves in a very pompous manner. Cyril also admits the fact that he is called such nicknames in the club. George is completely broken and shattered. At this point, Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is having the real soul of Mrs. Pearson, enters the house. Mrs. Pearson, in reality, is very worried about what happened in her family, so she has come in to check out what is the situation in her own house. Let us continue the lesson from here. Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is actually Mrs. Pearson, asks Cyril how is the situation at home. Cyril says that they are having a worse time in the house. Mrs. Pearson tries to cover him up by telling that he should remain quiet. Cyril breaks out and says that why should he remain quiet and not tell the truth to her friend. And then he leaves the room. Mrs. Fitzgerald gets worried and then she goes on to express her worries. Mrs. Pearson says that she needn't worry at all and she is doing only that what she should have been done long time before. Then she wants to know about her husband, whether he has reached home. Mrs. Pearson says that of course he has reached home, and also she has informed him what his clubmates think about him in his nightclub. Actually, Mrs. Pearson is not aware of what the clubmates think about her husband. So she says that probably they are telling good about him. But Mrs. Fitzgerald, or Mrs. Pearson here, says that no, they call him Pompey Ompy, and she has also told that to him. Mrs. Fitzgerald feels that she has done a very wrong thing by hurting George's feelings, but she tells that it is good because the consequences would be seen very soon. If only she behaves in a very bold manner, then she will start getting respect and the family members would start obeying her. Mrs. Fitzgerald now is more worried about her family and says that it would have been better if they did not change at all. Mrs. Pearson is annoyed at her comments and says that this has to happen whether she likes it or not. At this point, George enters the room with a very sad face. He does not greet the neighbor, Mrs. Fitzgerald, and he sits on the chair. Mrs. Fitzgerald greets George by calling him his name by mistake. George gets shocked because their neighbor is greeting him by his name. Children, we need to understand that in the Western countries, people are called by their surnames, especially if that person is not very familiar to you. Like your own family members, your very close friends and your very close relatives call you by your personal name or your first name, as they say it. All other people, as a mark of respect, greets each other by calling on their surname. Like for example, Annie Pearson would be called as Annie by her husband, her parents, her siblings and her close friends. All other people would call her as Mrs. Pearson only. Okay, so that is how people are greeted each other. So here calling George by Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is the neighbor, was considered something of a disrespect. So that is why George is very unhappy or shocked. But in the body of Mrs. Fitzgerald is Mrs. Pearson, so she had mistakenly called her husband. So that is the confusion that has happened over there. Here the situation is covered up by Mrs. Pearson or Mrs. Fitzgerald by telling that what is the great thing, why are you shouting and screaming if someone calls you by your name? After all, you are just a common person, you are not the King of England. Now in the presence of their neighbor, there is an argument going on between the husband and the wife. So George is very angry and he starts shouting at his wife by telling that what difference does it make if I am the King of the England or not? First of all, there is no tea prepared in the house, there is no intention of preparing dinner, and even my poor daughter is crying a lot. Now the actual mother is very concerned about all these situations and she starts interfering and worrying about these things. George gets very annoyed now because the neighbor is trying to interfere in the family matters. And he tells her very rudely that she should not interfere in their family matters, and she should just bother about her own family. Pearson says that you should not speak to the lady like this because this is a very rude way of talking to ladies, and that it was first of all very impolite of him to enter the room of two ladies without taking their proper permission. She also says that this is her house and the family members have to get disciplined and behave in a respectful manner. These are the rules of the house. George is very scared now and he is asking her to repeat what he said. Mrs. Pearson now starts mocking at George and tells that why don't you go to the club? Every night you go to the club. It's time that you go to the club. Your your friends are waiting over there and such things. Now George is very, very angry and he also starts shouting at Pearson, especially taking the point that Doris is crying. There Mrs. Pearson stands up and says that if ever he is yelling at her, she wouldn't even mind to slap her husband's face. The neighbor, Mrs. Fitzgerald, starts mourning now because she cannot stand the scene that her husband is being challenged and even talked to in such a very rude manner, to the extent of being given a warning that he would be slapped on the face. George is now very confused and saying that why is this lady why is this neighbor or Mrs. Fitzgerald behaving in such a very strange manner? In the process of trying to console her friend, Mrs. Fitzgerald by mistake calls Mrs. Pearson as Fitzgerald. Okay, so there is a confusion between the names. George immediately picks out that and says that both of you ladies are behaving in a very strange manner. Why is this neighbor calling her name? Why is this neighbor lady calling her name on someone else? So here Mrs. Pearson tries to cover that up by telling that he should mind his own business. Later, George leaves the room. Then enters Doris. Doris is also seen crying, and she enters the room and sits on the sofa. When Mrs. Fitzgerald tries to ask her what is the reason, Doris also feels very strange that a neighbor lady should be concerned about her. So she also tells her to mind her own business. There Mrs. Pearson again pops in and says that, see, you are not supposed to behave like this to the neighbors. Talk to them in a very decent manner. Mrs. Pearson gives strict instructions to Doris to behave properly with Mrs. Fitzgerald, and then she also talks to her in the proper manner and gives the reason for why she is remaining in a very depressed state. So she informs Mrs. Fitzgerald that her mother has been speaking very badly about her friend Charlie Spence. Mrs. Fitzgerald says that, you should not have said like that. At this point, Mrs. Pearson says that, see, this is her family matters and that Mrs. Fitzgerald need not involve in these kinds of things. George now feels happy by telling that finally you have told something that is sensible, that is letting the neighbor remain in her own position. Now there is a lot of confusions going on, and Pearson and Fitzgerald wants to speak in private. Mrs. Pearson tells George them should clear out from the room so that both of these ladies can sit together and talk and bring things under control. George says that it is good that at least one of the person in the house thinks about handling situations in control, because George himself feels that everything is out of control. As and when the others leave the room, Mrs. Fitzgerald jumps up to Mrs. Pearson and says that this has gone too much far and that she immediately wants to come back to her normal body. Mrs. Fitzgerald tries to press on her friend by telling that she should give her more time so that she can bring things under control. But the actual Mrs. Pearson says that she does not want any more things to happen in a house, and she feels that now itself things have got beyond the situation. Finally, agreeing to Pearson, both of them sit and change their bodies. But before leaving, Mrs. Fitzgerald says to Pearson that she should not go back and say forgiveness. She should not go back and seek forgiveness for what has happened in the house, and she should continue the things that what Mrs. Fitzgerald had actually started off. Mrs. Pearson is not very sure about how she would handle it, and she also feels very sorry for her family members. Finally, Mrs. Fitzgerald is asking her dear friend Annie Pearson what are the things that she would like her family members to do for her. So she says that she would like to spend their evenings at home. She also likes if her family members would help her to prepare dinner. And later, when Mrs. Fitzgerald asked for more opinions, she says that she would also like if her family members would play with her a nice game of rummy or cards. So she says that don't worry, all these things are going to happen in your house. So as the neighbor is leaving the house, all other family members now come back to the living room to bid farewell to Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now for a change, there is a smile on everyone's face. Doris first speaks up in a very hesitant manner that since none of them are moving out in the evening, she is not very sure about how they would spend how she would spend her evening. And of course, all her family members wants her to decide on how the evenings should be spent. So she says that I think it would be nice if we played a game of rummy, all the family members together. Now we will sit down and all of us will play cards, and then later the children can go and make dinner. In the meantime, the husband and wife can have a lonely time and they could do a little chit chat. So that is her plan for the evening. George immediately agrees by telling that it's a wonderful idea and he would like to go about it. Now it's about the kids. So then Cyril also says that he also would love to follow that plan. Doris is a little hesitant, so then Mrs. Pearson asks in a little stern manner, okay, what is it? If you have a difficulty, speak it out and say. If you don't want to do it, just say that you don't want to do it. But then Doris also says that she also does not have a problem, and then they all decide that the evening would be spent in such a manner. Seeing that situations have come under control, Mrs. Fitzgerald left the house in a happy manner. So my dear children, that's our story, the Mother's Day. I hope you have all understood the lesson very well. The main theme of the story is about how we should take care of our mother and understand that she too have got feelings, emotions, plans and hopes for all of us. So with this, I am concluding today's class. I hope you all have a wonderful time and be good children. Stay safe. Thank you.